Glad to have you join us on Housing TV News at the top of the hour. I am Mimuna Bagudu. Here are the top stories. Federal government blames NLC for blocking sale of refineries to Dangote in 2007. Ministry of Finance launches mortgage fund. Reps commit rights abuse levied against the present administration by the Trade Union Congress of the United Kingdom over the arrest of Joe Ajaero, president of the Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC). The NLC president was unable to attend the meeting organized by the Trade Union Congress in the United Kingdom, which opened on Tuesday following his arrest. Onanuga, while condemning the claims that the government was against human rights, accused the labor unions in Nigeria of pursuing narrow interests that had in the past only stunted the economic growth and development of the country and even compromised the material well-being of the workers and the poor people they protect. Onanuga cited the strong opposition of the NLC and TUC to the sale of Port Harcourt and Kaduna refineries to Blue Star Consortium, promoted in 2007 by Aliko Dangote and Femi Otedola during the administration of former President Olusegun Obasanjo. Now, the Ministry of Finance has introduced a new market-driven mortgage fund to boost affordable home ownership in Nigeria. This was revealed recently as part of the 1 Million Homes Presidential Initiative. The Minister of Finance, Mr. Wale Edun, highlighted that the fund, known as the Ministry of Finance Incorporated Real Estate Investment Fund, will offer low-cost mortgage options, particularly targeting pension account holders. Edun stated that the initiative aims to provide affordable mortgage solutions for a wider portion of the population, making home ownership more accessible across the country. Now, the Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Architect Ahmed Dengiwa, has urged the use of local materials in construction projects to promote sustainable housing in Nigeria. Speaking at the 2024 Aki-Built Exposition in Abuja, Dengiwa highlighted the importance of eco-friendly and climate-smart practices to address the country's housing deficit. He encouraged architects and construction professionals to embrace these sustainable methods as part of Nigerians' broader effort to meet its housing needs. Now, the chairman of the House of Representatives Committee on Safety Standards and Regulations, Honorable Suleiman Abubakar Gumi, has said safety in the Nigerian electricity sector cannot be compromised. Honorable Gumi said these at the National Assembly Complex Abuja on Tuesday at a briefing ahead of a proposed Nigerian Electricity Supply Industry Safety Conference. He says the committee will collaborate with the association and other stakeholders in the power sector to organize the conference, which aimed at addressing issues of safety in the sector. Gumi further reiterated these challenges, which includes vandalism, theft, standard electricity materials and others which have been addressed in past, but the problems still persisted. Maiduguri is grappling with its worst flood disaster in 30 years, leading to the displacement of thousands of residents. The crisis has also resulted in the deaths of 80% of the animals at Sandai Karimi Park Zoo, and the Nigerian Correctional Service has managed to recapture 3 inmates who escaped during the emergency. President Bola Tinubu, who is currently abroad, has called for the immediate evacuation of residents from the most severely impacted areas. The National Emergency Management Agency reports that 70% of Maiduguri is underwater, with significant damage to crucial sites, including the Shehu of Borno's Palace and the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital. The state government has opened 3 internally displaced persons camps to help those affected by the floods. Residents of Sidipone in Ogun State are worried after the government demolished their security gate, leaving them exposed to potential criminal threats. These demolitions, led by officials from the Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development, impact 6 villages. Community spokesperson Hakim Sofela claimed the demolition was done without warning. He said that Senior Special Assistant to the Governor, Tunde Olugbewisa, along with armed police, used an excavator to destroy the gate. Sofela added that the officials argued that the land was needed for government purposes despite previous agreements with the community. Governors across the southwest region have committed over 266 billion naira to develop new airports, despite concerns about the viability of many existing ones. The push for these new projects continues even as experts caution that some may face long-term profitability challenges. Several airport projects initiated by past governors have been left incomplete, creating financial burdens for their successors. Reports indicate that the current governors in Lagos, Ogun, Oyo, Osun, Ondo and Ekiti states are investing heavily in either existing airports or new sites, often at significant cost. The focus on these airport projects highlights a regional trend of substantial financial investment in aviation infrastructure, though doubts remain about their potential success and sustainability. More stories will be coming your way after the break. Stay with us.
Housing TV Africa on YouTube and click on the subscribe to stay updated on latest happenings in Nigeria's housing sector. Follow our social media pages, like and share our posts on Facebook, Housing TV Africa, on Twitter, Housing TV Africa, Instagram, Housing TV Africa. Join the conversation and keep up with latest housing updates.
So glad to have you join us on Housing TV. Jam has been caused by a collapsed container truck on the Lugbe Airport Road in Abuja, between the Federal Housing Authority bridge and the ShopRite pedestrian bridge. The incident, which occurred around 9 a.m. on Tuesday, forced outbound vehicles towards the airport to switch lanes, worsening congestion on the expressway. Federal Road Safety Corps officers are currently working to remove the falling container and alleviate the gridlock. FCT Sector Commander Muta Chori clarified that the incident involved a container truck, not a tanker as initially reported. The Federal Road Safety Corps confirmed that the truck carrying a 40-foot container blocked about 3/4 of the road. The gridlock took between 2 and 3 hours to clear, with no casualties reported. Now, Lagos State Special Offences Court in Ikeja has sentenced American businessman Marco Antonio Ramirez to 74 years in prison for defrauding victims of $1.2 million through an EB-5 visa scam and an additional $368,698 in fraud. Justice Mojisola Dada delivered the verdict, finding Ramirez guilty on multiple charges brought by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. The court ruling includes 8 years for each of the first 6 counts and 10 years for counts 7 and 8 of the first charge. For the second charge, Ramirez received 10 years each on counts 1 through 12 for obtaining money under false pretenses and 10 years each on counts 13 through 16 for theft. The FCC revealed that Ramirez and his companies, including USA Now LLC and Eagle Ford Insta-Lodge Group LP, deceived victims by promising access to the EB-5 visa program for U.S. green cards and permanent residency, but instead misappropriated the funds for personal use. Now to business. The Nigerian naira has further weakened against the US dollar, with the exchange rate reaching 1,637 naira and 50 naira kobo by Tuesday's close. Data from the Nigerian Autonomous Foreign Exchange indicates a depreciation of 14 naira and 63 kobo from the previous rate of 1,622 naira and 96 kobo, reflecting a 0.90% decline in value. This decline increases the cost of foreign goods and services for Nigerians. The FMDQ data also reveals robust trading activity with a substantial turnover of $143,150,000 in the foreign exchange market. Now to the foreign scene. United States Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump traded barbs for more than 90 minutes on Tuesday in a debate that was light on substantive policy and heavy on personal attacks. The debate between Kamala and Trump started with a handshake and ended with the candidates painting one another as awful leaders who should not be elected. Trump tried of portraying Harris as a far-left candidate who would pursue open border policies, ban franking, and confiscate people's guns. He also pushed to link her to President Joe Biden, painting them as fundamentally the same type of politician. Harris responded by questioning Trump's fitness for office. She also attempted to dismiss the former president as an object of ridicule.
Donald Trump left us the worst unemployment since the Great Depression. Donald Trump left us the worst public health epidemic in a century. You will see during the course of his rallies, he talks about fictional characters like Hannibal Lecter. He will talk about windmills cause cancer. And what you will also notice is that people start leaving his rallies early out of exhaustion and boredom.
People don't go to her rallies. There's no reason to go. And the people that do go, she's bussing them in and paying them to be there. She has a plan to confiscate everybody's gun.
President Trump,
she has a plan.
Tim Walz and I are both gun owners. We're not taking anybody's guns away. So stop with the continuous lying about this stuff.
Now in sports, Falconets head coach Christopher Danjuma says his team are excited about the prospect of facing Japan in the round of 16 of the ongoing FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup in Colombia at Bogota Lash on Friday. Nigeria reached the stage after piping the Korean Republic 1-0, losing 3-1 to Germany, and then earning a comprehensive 4-0 win over Venezuela in Cali. Japan, one of the strongest forces in women's football globally, topped Group E, which also included Austria, New Zealand, and one of Africa's flag bearers, Ghana, who crashed out to the tournament after losing to Japan and Austria and securing a narrow win over New Zealand. After their last match in Cali, the Falconets have returned to the Colombian capital, Bogota, ahead of Friday morning's clash. Nigeria and Japan will face off at the Estadio Metropolitano de Tejo in Bogota, where the Falconets played their first two matches of the group phase against the Korean Republic and Germany, starting at 2 a.m. Nigerian time on Friday, September 13, which is 8 p.m. Thursday in Colombia. Still in sports, former Chelsea and Tottenham manager Mauricio Pochettino has been named the head coach of the U.S. men's national team. The 52-year-old is now the U.S. men's national team 10th head coach in 14 years and was hired nearly 4 months after he left Chelsea, having spent just one season in charge. Austin Eguavoen has rejected rumors suggesting he has stepped down from his role as caretaker coach of Nigerian Super Eagles. Eguavoen, who emphasized that he remains in charge upon his return to Nigeria from the recent match in Rwanda. Addressing the situation further, Eguavoen explained that he only mentioned that he will be meeting with the hierarchy of the federation after 2 games to discuss the approach for the next matches. He expressed disappointment over the dissemination of inaccurate information. Under Eguavoen's guidance, the Super Eagles secured a 3-0 victory against Benin and were held to a goalless draw by Rwanda in Kigali on Tuesday. The team currently leads Group D of the 2025 AFCON qualification series with 4 points from 2 matches. That's the much we can take, and Housing TV News at the top of the hour. Before we go, here is a recap of our top stories. Federal government blames NLC for blocking sale of refineries to Dangote in 2007. Ministry of Finance launches mortgage fund. Reps Committee vows no compromise in Nigerian power sector. Ogun community raises alarm over demolition by government. President calls for evacuation of impacted residents affected by Maiduguri flood. In business, Naira weakens further to 1,637.59 Naira per dollar, showing 0.90% decline. On the foreign scene, Kamala Harris rattles Trump at U.S. presidential debate. In sports, Egwavon denies quitting as Super Eagles coach. To get more news in the housing sector, subscribe to Housing TV Africa on YouTube and follow our Housing TV Africa on all social media platforms. Do not forget to download the Housing TV Africa mobile app on Google Play Store and Apple Store to stay connected. I am Mimuna Bagudu. Thanks for watching and bye for now.